Good evening, I'm Abhyuday Shrestha and these are the headlines of the hour. Nepal bears loss of millions of rupees every year due to monsoon-related disasters. Government indifferent towards those losing their source of income. Nepali Congress's Bahadur Singh Lama appointed Chief Minister of Bagmati Province. Delay in newly appointed Chief Minister of Lumini Province, Chetnaran Acharya's oath taking due to share of ministries not being finalized. India unveils its budget of 48,205.12 billion rupees for the fiscal year 2024-25. India sets aside 7 billion Indian rupees as grant for Nepal in its budget. And Nepal crash out of the ACC Women's Asia Cup after being thumped by India by 82 runs. Shefali Verma shines with a bat for India with 81 runs. 130 individuals have died since the advent of the monsoon season this year, while 1,592 disaster-related incidents have been reported. Nepal is in the 4th position among countries that are under high risk of effects of climate change, while it is 20th in terms of all types of disasters. However, the country has been bearing massive losses of lives and property due to lackluster preparation for disaster management. Small-scale and marginalized farmers and citizens have already bore a loss of 130 million rupees due to monsoon-related disasters this year. Loss of lives and property is reported during natural disasters, while the government emphasizes search and relief operation following disasters. However, rehabilitation of victims of disasters has remained lethargic. Due to this, victims have remained displaced for years. Damage of infrastructures during monsoon disasters are also reported. Floods have damaged 6 bridges and road sections since 10th of June last month. According to initial speculation, infrastructures worth 400 million rupees have been damaged during this monsoon season. The government has presented at the Parliament the data related to damages, deaths and losses caused by disasters. Home Minister Ramesh Lekhak said that 1,592 monsoon-related disasters have been reported this year. 48 individuals have been missing, while 144 others have been injured in these incidents. Likewise, more than 4,000 individuals have been displaced. According to data by the Ministry of Home Affairs, 8,716 monsoon-related disasters have been reported within a decade. 2,671 individuals had died in these incidents, while 654 people had gone missing. Likewise, 88,962 families have been affected. The disasters have completely destroyed 15,804 houses, while 46,443 houses have been partially damaged. A loss of 18.89 billion rupees has been recorded within a decade due to monsoon disasters. People have continued to lose their lives to rain-induced disasters as well as become displaced. They have also been compelled to bear the loss of their source of income. However, they have yet to receive appropriate relief from the authority. In our Public Voice segment, today we have asked people in several provinces regarding the effects of the monsoon season in their area this year. Let's take a look at what they had to say.
अब यता यस्तो पोल सोल सबै झाल्यो अब घर ढाल्यो
गोरकुण्डादेखि उता करालीसम्म पुरै सबैको प्रत्येक परिवारको समथिङ आधा बिगा जति जमिन नदीले कटान गरिसकेको छ
ठाउँ ठाउँमा भलहरु माथिबाट बगेर अनि घरको नजिक पनि भलहरु ठुलठुलो आएर घर पनि भत्किने स्थितिमा छ
त्यतिका घर बस्ती विस्थापित भइसक्दा पनि अझसम्म केही नहेरेकोमा अलि दुख लाग्छ हामीहरुलाई
कच्ची घर थियो त्यही पनि भित्ता बगाएर त्यहाँ बल्ल तल्ल जुगाड गरेर बस्ने बाटो बनाएछौं
भलले खोलेर पहिरो गएर बिरामीहरु हिँड्न पनि नसक्ने स्थिति भएको छ
15-20 बिगा जति जमिन महाकाली नदी र साधनी खोलाले कटान गर्दै आएको अवस्था रहेको छ
मान्छेहरु पहिरो सैरमा परेर मरिरहेका छन्
माथिबाट ढुङ्गाहरु खस्छन् अनि त्यहाँ सारै दुःख दिइराखेको छ पहिरो दिनकै खसिराखेको छ।
खानेपानीमा समस्या परेको छ। खानेपानीका मुहानहरू एउटा पहिरो झरेर अवरोध पुर्दिएको अवस्था।
बाटो चाहिँ अवरोध भइराखेको छ, ठाउँ ठाउँमा पहिरोहरू खसिराखेको छ।
दोस्रा घरमा रह्यो, घर सर सब बगाइयो छ।
बाटो अलिकता अप्ठ्यारोजनक छ।
बाटोघाटो छैन अनि बर्खा ढुङ्गा खस्ने सम्भावना छ।
कुखुरा बगायो, अब धान पनि भेजेको नै हो, पुरा अङ्गुरेर बर्बाद भयो। गहुँ र कपडा भाँडाकुँडामा घर पनि भत्कायो।
घर बगाएको छ, मकै बारी भत्काएको छ।
Nepali Congress's Bahadur Singh Lama has been appointed to the post of Chief Minister of Bagmati Province. Province Governor Yadav Chandra Sharma appointed Lama as the Chief Minister of Bagmati Province as per Article 168, Sub-Article 2 of the Constitution of Nepal. Nepali Congress's parliamentary party leader Lama became the Chief Minister with the support from Nepali Congress and CPN-UML. Lama had staked his claim to Province Governor Sharma today after 37 province members from Nepali Congress and 27 from CPN-UML signed in favor of him. Lama is scheduled to take the oath of office and secrecy tomorrow morning at 11. Newly appointed Chief Minister is making preparations to form the Council of Ministers tomorrow itself. Meanwhile, newly appointed Chief Minister of Lumbini Province, Chetnaran Acharya, is also scheduled to take the oath of office and secrecy tomorrow. CPN-UML's Acharya will take the oath only after fixing the share of provincial ministries with Nepali Congress. The share of ministries has not been finalized yet. Meanwhile, ministers representing CPN Maoist Center have no intention of quitting the Koshi province government. Even after the change in the political equation at the center, the Maoist ministers are not exiting the province government. Koshi Province Chief Minister Hikmat Karki informed that the cabinet would be reshuffled within a few days in view of the change in the political equation at the center. Meanwhile, the special session of the Sudur Pashchim Province Assembly could not run due to the absence of Chief Minister Dirgaraj Shodari. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs has said Nepali students in Bangladesh are safe. Spokesperson of the ministry, Amrit Rai, said that 1,300 students had already been repatriated. Speaking to Kantipur News, spokesperson Rai said that 1,300 Nepali students had returned home from Bangladesh amid escalation of violence there, demanding to scrap quotas on government jobs. He said that the Bangladeshi court had already issued a verdict in this regard. He said that the ministry would coordinate with those who want to return home. He said that Nepali student Bipin Joshi, who had been in Hamas's captivity since the Israel-Gaza war began, was also safe. Spokesperson Rai said that diplomatic efforts were being made to rescue him as the Israeli government had informed that he was safe. In a different context, Rai said that officials of ministries had participated in bilateral meetings held by the Prime Minister, ministers, and high-ranking officials. He said that all bilateral entities had been corresponded to mandatorily include representatives from the ministry in such meetings. Nepal Electricity Authority (NEA) has decided to resume power supply of 6 industries that had failed to clear dues. The authority had said that power supply would be resumed from today. The meeting of the Board of Directors of the NEA decided to resume power supply of these industries. The authority had halted power supply of Reliance Spinning Mill, Gorai Cement, Argakachi Cement, Jagadamba Synthetic of Bhairawa, and Hula Steel of Simra since the second week of July. The Ministry of Energy on 2nd of May had directed the NEA to collect dues of these industries that had been provided special service during the load-shedding era between mid-January 2016 and mid-April 2018. The industries have yet to pay an outstanding amount of 6.41 billion rupees of the 3-year period. The government had verbally directed the NEA to resume power supply of these industries, citing domestic production had increased. However, the authority had remained firm in its stance. The meeting of the Board of Directors held today decided to resume power supply after directives were issued by the Electricity Regulatory Commission yesterday. Meanwhile, the NEA has decided to resume power supply of these industries with the condition that they clear the dues within 3 months. Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli held discussion with the task force formed to find consensus on the Transitional Justice Bill earlier today at Balwatar. Prime Minister Oli inquired about the progress made by the task force in this regard. A consensus on the bill that is under consideration at the Law Committee of the House of Representatives could not be reached despite holding discussions by forming a subcommittee. Due to this, a 3-member task force had been formed by the Pushpa Kamal Dahal-led government. The task force has been directed to find consensus on various issues and submit a report. Agreement has not been reached on issues including serious violations of human rights, eligibility for being listed as victims of conflict era, and alternatives if the victims do not give consent for reconciliation. Minister for Communication and Information Technology Prithvi Subagurung has said that the limitation of press freedom should be determined. Speaking during the discussion held on the Media Council bill by the Committee for Legislation Management earlier today, Minister Gurung said that press and judicial bodies should execute their work within the limits. He said that the bill must be prepared with a view to prevent dominance by the press. Meanwhile, Nepali Congress leader Krishna Prasad Sitola and CPN Maoist Center leader Naran Kaji Shrestha were of the opinion that the bill should not be endorsed with a view to restrict and weaken freedom of press. Members of the committee also emphasized on the protection of press freedom, which is guaranteed by the Constitution of Nepal. It's now time for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
But before that, let's take a look at the results from yesterday's poll. Yesterday, we had asked you, why does the server of Transport Management Office fail every now and then? 27% voted for A, weak technology, 12% for B, lack of skilled human resource, and 61% for C, middlemen in play. And here's today's question. What's your take on Communication Minister Prithvi Subagurung's statement that limitations should be determined for the media and judiciary? Your options are A, intention to control, B, statement against the Constitution, and C, preparation to regulate. The voting is on. Type NEWS, select your option A, B, or C, and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. And it's time now for the international update. India today unveiled a budget of 48,205.12 billion rupees for the fiscal year 2024-25, striking a balance between greater spending on jobs and rural development while narrowing the fiscal deficit after last month's election setback for the government. The fiscal target was part of India's federal budget announced today by Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman. The target signals the government's intention to remain fiscally prudent despite expectations it may ramp up spending on welfare programs following a weaker than anticipated election victory for Prime Minister Narendra Modi's alliance in June. A lower fiscal deficit will boost foreign investors' sentiment and improve India's chances of a sovereign rating update as it brings the country closer to its goal of narrowing the deficit to below 4.5% of GDP by the fiscal year 2025-26. A corporate tax rate for foreign companies was cut to 35% from 40% to attract investments. Finance Minister Sitharaman said in her budget speech that the Indian government raised the tax rate for equity investments held for less than 1 year to 20% from 15%, and for shares held for more than 12 months to 12.5% from 10%. Indian equities hovered near the flat mark today, with Indian stocks initially dropped as much as 1.5%, and the rupee hovered near sessions low of 83.71 per the dollar as traders reacted to tax hikes on equities and derivatives trading. The finance minister said the government will spend 2.66 trillion rupees on rural development while unveiling new programs in the annual budget for states led by two key allies who shore up Modi's coalition government. Finance Minister Sitharaman also said that the government will allocate 2 trillion rupees for job creation over the next 5 years. Meanwhile, India is set to provide 7 billion Indian rupees in grant to Nepal in the fiscal year 2024-25. While presenting India's annual budget at the parliament earlier today, Finance Minister Sitharaman announced that the Indian government will provide a grant of 7 billion rupees to Nepal. Among the neighboring countries, India is to provide the highest amount in grant to Bhutan. India has allocated 20.68 billion rupees as grant for Bhutan. Likewise, 4 billion rupees has been allocated for the Maldives, 2.5 billion for Myanmar, 2.45 billion for Sri Lanka, 2 billion for Afghanistan, 1.2 billion rupees for Bangladesh, 2 billion for African countries, and 50 million rupees for Mongolia. It's time now for another short break. We'll be right back. It's time now for the sports news.
Sports news.
Nepal crashed out of the ACC Women's Asia Cup after being thumped by India by 82 runs. In the match played in Sri Lanka's Rangira Dambulla International Stadium tonight, India elected to bat first and posted a challenging total of 178 runs for the loss of 3 wickets in the stipulated 20 overs. India had a solid start with Shafali Verma and Dayaland Hemlatha putting on 122 runs for the opening partnership. Verma top scored for India with a quick-fire 81 off 48 balls, smashing 1/6 and 12 fours. Hemlatha also contributed 47 runs off 42 balls, and Jamima Rodriguez smashed 28 runs off 15 balls. Sita Ranamagar grabbed 2 wickets for Nepal, while Kavita Joshi also claimed a wicket. Chasing a victory target of 178 runs, Nepal lost wickets at regular intervals and managed to score 96 runs for the loss of 9 wickets. Opener Sita Ranamagar was the leading scorer for Nepal with 18 runs. Rubina Chetri also contributed 15 runs and skipper Indu Verma added 14. Deepti Sharma was the pick of the Indian bowlers, grabbing 3 wickets. With the win, India have topped Group A, securing 6 points from 3 matches and have advanced to the semi-finals. Meanwhile, in a Group A match played earlier this afternoon, Pakistan thumped UAE by 10 wickets. Pakistan finished second in the group to also book a spot in the semis. And now, before wrapping up, here's a look at the top stories once again. That's all for the moment. Thank you for watching. Good night.